Swakop Kart is situated just outside the town of Swakop, wedged between the main road to Windhoek and the local airport. The rental kart business, under the stewardship of track owner Osvaldo Mendes, provides hours of adrenaline-packed entertainment for all those seeking some extra excitement and competitive fun. But it was time to get more serious and lift the level of competition, as the local karters and the visitors from South Africa were getting their cars ready to race.
Started at 6 o'clock with the Bambinos first, second Max Torinos, third Junior and Senior Max together, and then after that we're going to have the Masters.
DD2. For this event, I think the most important thing is obviously have fun, but to get exposure for karting in Namibia. That's why we did this whole experiment, getting Nick and Steve and their children up here, and it's to get exposure here, to get quality here, show the people what is karting all about, and yeah, I would say that's the main aspect is exposure for karting in our country now. The track was sold to Osvaldo Mendes. He bought it about 5 months ago, and he is an old rally driver, driving a lot in South Africa as well. So he's got big passion for racing, and together with his little kid from grandkid, he's also starting with Bambino now. It's his 4th race today, and he invested very much. I mean, he did very small stuff, but big stuff. There's a lot done, and for each race there's new improvement. So yeah, the track itself hasn't got too many improvements yet. We at the moment concentrated on the surroundings. We got a new timing system in, but there's lots of improvements done, and the big improvement is the resurfacing of the track, and then obviously extending the track. That's the, I would say, rather long-term projects. At the moment we've got around about 20 to 30 active karters. Today we've got 19 entries with the 5 drivers from South Africa. In this year we've got quite a few new drivers, so there is a positive vibe going, and we hope that we can take that vibe into the next year and get more people on the track now. The biggest step that we actually have signed now is we have agreed with Rotax South Africa that we can host for 2020 the Rotax Max Challenge Namibia. So we will have 8 nationals next year, 4 in Swakop, 4 in Windhoek, running under the series, and the winner in each class will get a ticket to the African Open that will be in 2021. So I think that's the big step, the big basement for next year, and then obviously getting more and more karters involved, getting the older karters that are currently on hold also on the track again, and make karting popular again.
First out on the track for their qualifying session were the Bambinos, the kids 5 to 9 years old, using Vekoma 50cc engines. As expected, the pace was set by the 2 visiting drivers from South Africa, Christian Verheil and Aiden Beaumont. Also on track was a 5-year-old Mila Botha, who ended up in the tire wall after contact with the impatient Christian Verheil.
It's very nice to come race in another country because all the way from Joburg here, 15-hour drive, I couldn't survive anything.
So what do you think about the circuit?
It's a very nice place, and especially I've never been on a new place before, so I'm going to try my hardest and try and win.
Mila Botha recovered quickly from her crash, setting a decent time, while local lad Paul Westhuizen also showed improvement as the day was going on. The two South Africans, Christian Verheil and Aiden Beaumont, topping the sheets as expected and showing their experience from racing in South Africa. Unfortunately, the Max Torino class only had 3 drivers participating due to the others having prior commitments.
The track is super cool. They're putting a lot of effort into it, and everyone here is really cool and they like racing. There's got stones in the tar, so it's not slippery. It's just a little bit bouncy, and the track is really like fun, and it would just be really cool if it was a little bit longer. This is super cool that they're doing a night race for South Africans.
Keegan Beaumont, the 2020 African Open winner, setting the fastest lap ever for a Max Torino kart around the Swakop kart circuit, taking pole position from Mick Goldbeck and Heinrich Roos. Next out on the circuit was a combined senior and junior max qualifying. Hoping to improve on his previous personal best was Wouter Smith. Pushing hard to get a good grid position in his barrel art was Michael Fourie.
We have a new track owner not so long ago, and he's doing so much for us and also for the track itself. It's improving every single day. Every day I come here, every week I come here new. There's something going on. Like you've probably seen the background, all the yellow and black and white. They painted all of that in, I don't know how long ago, very quickly. And I came here one day and I was like, whoa, this is nice. Because it makes it look more interesting and more fun. I know this track more than most of them. Because I practice almost every week. And it's obviously more comfortable for me knowing the track and knowing how my tires are, knowing how my motor works and all my settings. So I don't have to change them if I go somewhere else.
In Senior Max, Ivan Foster putting it ahead of Kip and Rees, while in the juniors, Justus Boylke getting pole ahead of Smith and Fourie. It was time for the open class, who were all on Rotax DD2 machines, which proved to be a handful on the short and technical circuit. But all this could play to the advantage of local Jörg Goldbeck.
Yeah, what a pleasant surprise. Swakop, incredible place. Obviously just saw some of the advertising online, spoke to Nick and Jen and thought great way to spend December break, and thought the boys needed a little bit of something different, so really it was for them. Bring them up and show them around somewhere new. What an impressive investment the guys are making into the sport in Namibia. Incredibly passionate crowd, really great fun to hang out with, extremely welcoming. They're putting some serious effort into the track and into the sport, and I wish them all the best going forward. Yeah, I spent too much time rolling from race to race with the kids to invest in any seat time myself, so really cool to hang out behind Nick and get taught a lesson or two.
Reigning South African DD2 Masters champion Nick Verheil in attack mode as he posted the fastest ever lap around the Swakop circuit to take pole position from rookie Liam Gilchrist ahead of Hans Muschkat, Stephen Beaumont and Jörg Goldbeck. As the evening sets in, everyone was filled with excitement for the first ever night race at the Swakop kart circuit. Bambinos getting proceedings going. It was soon apparent that Christian Verheil was not going to hang around as he blitzed his way around the Bambino-friendly circuit, being chased by Aiden Beaumont. The Namibian challenge was led by Sebastian van Niekerk, ahead of Paul Westhuizen who was recovering from an early mistake just ahead of the 5-year-old Mila Botha.
And you got pole position.
Yes.
Do you think you're going to keep Mr. Beaumont out?
Yep. I'm gonna try go as fast as I can and get away from him.
What part of a circuit do you like?
I like this big corner here because it's a nice place to actually ungain your speed and gain your speed back.
And also a nice long straight, eh?
Yeah.
And some nice hairpins, and you're not going to bump a girl off again, eh?
No.
Okay, good. But so good luck, and you've done no racing in the evening, and we're going to do a night race tonight.
Yeah, it's very scary that I'm gonna be in the dark, and we don't want to have big crashes because once someone flipped in their cart.
Obviously enjoying his first night race, Christian Verheil showed no mercy and got a well-deserved victory ahead of fellow South African Aiden Beaumont, with Sebastian van Niekerk completing the podium ahead of Paul Oosthuizen and Mila Botha.
From the perspective of the South African visitors, we've all gained in terms of technical setup of the karts, driving lines, the do's, the don'ts, and then just getting together and assisting each other. And if you can improve every time that you come to the track, even if you're the slowest, if you can improve on your times and gain one position, that's great for everybody. We really want to improve the facilities in terms of the pit area, and then especially resurfacing of the track and extending the track. That's our long-term goals. But first of all, we want to resurface the track. That's very important for us. There's a lot of Namibians that's not participating today, but it's holidays, and I know that they've got other commitments with the family, so we respect that, and we still support them and encourage them. But yeah, I think the guys that did not come, they've lost out, but there's a lot of guys that can still contribute that's not here today. Well, what I've seen is that as soon as we introduced the Bambinos, the sport just rocketed. It's amazing to see that you must start with the small ones, the Bambinos, and the parents get involved immediately. Some other parents see. I think that's where the growth starts, with the little ones, not with the big guys.
As expected, after the blistering lap record times he was setting in qualifying, an easy victory for African Open champion Keegan Beaumont ahead of Mick Goldbeck and Heinrich Roos. Next onto the circuit were the combined senior and junior max classes. The two local drivers, Ivan Foster and Justus Boylke, making the best of their front row start and the home track advantage. Pulling away from the rest of the guys on lap 1 already, leaving the rest to fight for the scraps for the 3rd and 4th positions.
Talk to me about this weekend's event. What does it mean for you guys to have these South African guys come over?
For me personally, it really means a lot, because there's so much that we still need to learn about karting, especially we're down at rock bottom here with the karting, and yeah, you can read up and look stuff up on the internet, but to actually learn from someone who's been to the World Championships, to be a national champion, I've even personally seen how great my kart is doing now, just by taking advice from Nick.
Going forward, what would you like to see happen here at Swakop?
I would like to see the track develop. I would like to see more people compete, and well, just let more people have fun and just enjoy the racing. The more we are, the better the racing gets, and we can learn from each other. We can just have fun. That's why we're here. We want to have fun. We want to enjoy the sport and learn how to do it better and just improve.
Ivan Foster, the local man in his senior max, showing sheer dominance and romping away from the rest of the field, getting the checkered flag. Behind him, just as Boylke, almost catching the tail of the junior class as he gets the checkered flag. In senior max, Ivan Foster ahead of Andre Kupp and Jürgen Ries, with Justin Boylke ahead of Wouter Smith and Michael Fourie.
What the guys are doing here, Jürgen, his team, Scholl, they're busy trying to grow the Rotax brand or karting in general here. We're racing at a rent kart circuit here. They have big plans to grow the circuit, make it a bit longer, make it a bit flatter. A lot of fun trying to help the guys learn a little bit about karting. I enjoy helping people and seeing the results, the smiles when they come off the track. It's good fun. Small basic setup tips and training just to help the guys enjoy the sport a little bit more.
Nick Verheul taking full advantage of his pole position, ahead of a karting rookie Liam Gilchrist in his Saudi kart, who in turn was under pressure from Steve Beaumont and Jörg Goldbeck in the early stages of the night race. If you had to give him advice, what would you tell him, guys? This is what you have to do.
I'll keep doing what they're doing. I think they're heading in the right direction. They've got a bit of an expansion to make to the track, maybe 400 meters, and it gets up to FIA standards. Other than that, I think they really are on the right track. Grab some more people into the sport, and I'm sure we're going to see a few Namibian African Open winners before you know it.
If you last night had 4 or 5 guys saying, shit, but if we knew we would have also come. How does one attract guys from like South Africa? I mean, we were the masters of karting in Africa. Nobody can compare with what we do in South Africa. Most of our regional championships is bigger than other countries' entire championships. Is it something we as South Africans have to look like to grow the sport by coming to places like this?
Well, I think if you're South Africa, we may be the masters of karting in Africa, but we're certainly not the masters of karting in the world. And at some point, someone invested in us, and you know, we've got to pay it forward and invest in some of these other countries that are trying to grow the sport in and around us. I mean, we may not necessarily come and experience what we would in Italy when we come and race in Namibia, but Nick and I were having an absolute laugh in the dune buggies in the dune today, and it was just about as much fun. It was awesome.
On the last lap of the race, and Jörg Goldbeck is coming under pressure from race leader Nick Verheul, but he managed to keep the South African DD2 Masters champion out going a lap down. An easy Heat 1 win as expected going to Nick Verheul, comfortably ahead of rookie karter Liam Gilchrist, with Steve Beaumont struggling a bit with visibility, with the light rain blowing in over the cold Atlantic, making it difficult for all to see during the second half of the race. Don't forget to join us for part 2 of the action from the Swakop Kart Club.